Let me ask you something uncomfortable. Think about your day yesterday. You woke up with a list of things to do, important things, things that mattered. And by the end of the day, how many of those things actually got done? If you're being honest, probably not the most important ones. You answered emails, you scrolled, you got busy with things that felt urgent but didn't really move the needle. And that one big task, the one that's been sitting on your list for days, maybe weeks, stayed right there, untouched, waiting. Sound familiar? Here's what most people never realize. The difference between the people who achieve extraordinary things and the people who spend their whole life almost achieving them. It's not talent. It's not intelligence. It's not even hard work. It's one simple habit. And by the end of this audiobook, you're going to understand exactly what that habit is. More importantly, you're going to know how to build it, starting today. This is Eat That Frog by Tracy. And it just might be the most practical book ever written on personal productivity. Let's begin. Mark Twain once said something that sounds strange, but once you hear it, you'll never forget it. He said, "If the first thing you do each morning is eat a live frog, you can go through the rest of the day knowing that the worst is behind you." Now, obviously, he wasn't talking about actual frogs. Your frog is your biggest, most important, most challenging task of the day. The one you're most likely to procrastinate on. The one that, if you actually completed it, would make the biggest difference in your life. And here's the brutal truth most people never confront. There will never be enough time to do everything you have to do. Never. No matter how productive you become, no matter how many apps you use or systems you try, the to-do list never ends. New responsibilities always arrive faster than old ones disappear. So the question is never, how do I get everything done? The real question is, what are the most important things I could do? And am I doing those first? The answer to that question determines your entire life trajectory. There are 2 rules of frog eating that you need to burn into your brain right now. Rule 1. If you have 2 important tasks, start with the biggest, hardest, most important one first. Eat the ugliest frog first. Rule 2. If you have to eat a frog, don't sit and look at it too long, because here's what happens in real life. You know what needs to be done. You can feel the weight of it. But instead of starting, you do smaller things, easier things. And those easier things fill your day while the important task just sits there, getting heavier, generating more guilt, draining more of your mental energy. The most successful people do the opposite. They force themselves to start on their most important task, immediately every morning, before anything else. And something remarkable happens when you do this consistently. Your brain starts releasing endorphins every time you complete a significant task. You feel energized, motivated, confident, and over time, you actually become addicted to that feeling. You start organizing your entire day around getting important things done. That's the transformation this book is about. There are 21 strategies in this book. Every single one of them is practical. You don't need to be smarter or more talented. You just need to be willing to change how you work. Let's go through them together. Chapter 1. Set the table. Here is the single most important insight in personal productivity. Clarity. Not motivation, not hustle, not willpower. Clarity. The number one reason why some people get dramatically more done than others is because they are absolutely clear on what they want and what they need to do next. And they don't deviate from that clarity. Most people go through their days in a fog of vague intentions. They have a general sense that they should be doing more or being better, but they haven't sat down and clearly defined what that actually looks like. And because they're not clear, they're easy to distract. Every incoming message, every unexpected request, every shiny new task pulls them off course. Tracy says there is a great rule for success. Think on paper. Only about 3% of adults have clear written goals. And those people accomplish 5 to 10 times as much as people of equal or better education and ability who have never taken the time to write down exactly what they want. 5 to 10 times as much. Let that land. So here's the 7-step process for setting and achieving any goal. Step 1. Decide exactly what you want. Be specific. Not I want to be healthier, but I want to lose 20 pounds by December 1st. Not I want to earn more money, but I want to earn this specific amount doing this specific work. Step 2. Write it down. The moment you write something down, it stops being a wish and becomes a goal. It becomes real. A goal that isn't written is just a fantasy with no power behind it. Step 3. Set a deadline. A goal without a deadline has no urgency. Your brain needs a finish line. Without one, you'll always feel like you have more time, and you'll always use that as an excuse. Step 4, make a list of everything you need to do to achieve that goal. Every step, every task, every resource you need. Get it all out of your head and onto paper. Step 5, organize that list into a plan. Prioritize. What needs to happen first? What can only happen after something else is done? When you lay it all out visually, your path forward becomes clear, almost magnetic. Step 6, take action immediately. An average plan executed with total commitment beats a perfect plan that never gets started. Action is everything. Step 7, do something every single day that moves you toward your major goal. Never miss a day. Progress, even tiny progress, builds momentum. And momentum is what eventually makes achievement feel inevitable. Think about your goals. Review them every morning. And each day ask yourself, what is the one thing I could do today that would move me furthest toward what matters most? That answer is your frog. Eat it first. Chapter 2. Plan every day in advance. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. And how do you tackle your biggest, most overwhelming list of tasks? One item at a time, but only after you've planned the right order. Planning is not a luxury. It is the highest leverage activity you can engage in. Every single minute you spend planning your work will save you 5 to 10 minutes in execution. That's a 500% return on your time investment. No stock market comes close to that. A 10-minute planning session at the beginning or end of each day can save you 2 full hours of wasted, unfocused activity. 2 hours. Yet most people skip it because it doesn't feel like real work. Planning feels passive. Doing feels productive. But that's a trap. Because doing the wrong things faster doesn't make you more productive. It just makes you more efficiently unproductive. Here's how to plan effectively. Always work from a list. Every single day. When something new comes up, add it to the list before you do it. This simple habit alone can increase your productivity by 25%, starting your very first day. Make out your list the night before whenever possible. Why? Because when your subconscious mind knows what's coming tomorrow, it starts working on it while you sleep. You'll often wake up with ideas, insights, and solutions you didn't have the night before. Your brain is doing unpaid overtime on your behalf, and use different lists for different horizons. A master list for everything you want to do in the future. A monthly list for what you want to accomplish this month. A weekly list. And a daily list, the specific actions you will complete today. As you work through your daily list and tick things off, something powerful happens. You see progress. You feel momentum. Each completed item gives you a microburst of satisfaction that pushes you forward. There's a principle called the 10-90 rule. The first 10% of time you invest in planning and organizing your work will save you 90% of the time in execution. The math is almost unbelievable until you experience it for yourself. Plan the night before. Work from your list. Tick things off as you go. Repeat. That discipline alone will make you dramatically more productive than most of the people around you. Chapter 3. Apply the 80-20 rule to everything. Here's a mathematical reality that most people never apply to their own lives. It's called the Pareto principle, or the 80-20 rule. And it says 20% of your activities will account for 80% of your results. Let that sink in. If you have a list of 10 tasks to complete today, 2 of those tasks will produce more value, more real measurable impact on your life and career than the other 8 combined. 2 out of 10. And here's the painful part. Most people spend most of their time on the 80%, the low-value tasks that feel comfortable, easy, and satisfying to check off. They answer emails. They organize files. They attend meetings that don't need them. They do small things and feel busy. Meanwhile, the 2 or 3 tasks that could actually change their trajectory sit ignored. The most successful people think differently. They look at their list and immediately ask, which of these tasks would have the most significant positive impact if I did it today? And they start there, no matter how uncomfortable, difficult, or overwhelming it feels. This isn't about working harder. It's about working on the right things. Time management is really life management. And at its core, it comes down to one question you should ask yourself every single morning. What is the most valuable use of my time right now? Resist the temptation to start with small things. Every time you spend the first hour of your day on low-value tasks, you're training your brain to do that. You're building the wrong habit. And habits once built are remarkably hard to break. Instead, build the habit of identifying your top 20% and going there first, every single day. The hardest part is always getting started. But once you begin, something clicks. You find a flow. Your motivation builds. And the more you work on important tasks, the more you want to keep working on them. Feed the right part of your mind. It grows stronger every time you use it. Chapter 4. Consider the consequences. Here's a question that will change how you prioritize everything. What are the potential consequences of doing or not doing this task? Because here's the truth about importance. Something is important not because it's urgent, not because someone is demanding it, not because it's on your calendar, but because it has significant long-term consequences. Dr. Edward Banfield of Harvard University spent more than 50 years studying upward social and economic mobility. And after all that research, he found one quality that predicted success better than family background, education, intelligence, or connections. He called it long-term perspective. Successful people think years, even decades into the future. And that long-term vision guides every decision they make today. When you can clearly see where you want to be in 5 or 10 years, it becomes much easier to decide what you should be doing right now. Unsuccessful people think mostly about short-term pleasure and immediate gratification. They do what feels good now. They choose tension-relieving activities over goal-achieving ones. And the gap between where they are and where they want to be just keeps growing. There's a law called the law of forced efficiency. It says there is never enough time to do everything, but there is always enough time to do the most important thing. Always. You cannot eat every frog in the pond, but you can eat the biggest, most important one. And that's enough. Here are 3 questions to build into your daily thinking. 1. What are my highest value activities? What tasks, if I did them consistently and excellently, would make the greatest positive difference in my career and life? 2. What can I, and only I, do that if done well will make a real difference? This is the task that only you can perform. If you don't do it, it won't get done. That task is almost always your most important frog. 3. What is the most valuable use of my time right now? Ask these questions throughout your day. The answers will tell you exactly where your energy should go. Do first things first, and second things not at all. Chapter 5. Practice creative procrastination. Here's a concept that sounds like a contradiction. Creative procrastination. But once you understand it, it will free you. Here is the truth. You cannot do everything. You are never going to finish everything on your list. There will always be more things to do than time to do them. So you will procrastinate on something. It's inevitable. The question is, what will you choose to procrastinate on? Most people unconsciously procrastinate on the big, scary, important tasks, and then busily fill their days with small, easy, comfortable things that feel productive but don't actually move the needle. Creative procrastination is the opposite. It's deliberately, consciously choosing what you will not do, so that you have maximum time and energy for the things that really matter. Every priority you set requires you to also set what Tracy calls a posteriority. A posteriority is something you do less of, or later, or not at all. You cannot fill your day with new priorities without removing old ones. One of the most powerful words in time management is no. Said politely, said clearly, said regularly, no is what protects your most valuable resource, your time. Say no to anything that is not a high-value use of your time. Say no to commitments that don't align with your most important goals. Say no to activities you keep doing out of habit or guilt, even though you know they're not serving you. Here's a powerful exercise Tracy calls zero-based thinking. Ask yourself about every regular activity, commitment, and task in your life. If I was not already doing this, knowing what I now know, would I start doing it today? If the answer is no, that's a candidate for elimination. Stop doing it, or radically reduce it. Your job isn't to do more things. Your job is to do the right things, and ruthlessly remove everything else. Chapter 6. Use the ABCDE method. Continually, you need a system for prioritizing. Something simple, fast, and powerful. Here it is. Every day before you start work, look at your task list and assign each item a letter. A, B, C, D, or E. It takes 5 minutes. It changes everything. An A task is something you must do. It has serious consequences if it's not done. These are your frogs. If you have more than one, rank them A1, A2, A3, and so on. A1 is your biggest, ugliest frog. A B task is something you should do. but it only has minor consequences. Someone might be mildly inconvenienced if it doesn't happen, but no major impact. Here's the rule. Never do a B task when there's an A task left undone. Never let a tadpole distract you from a frog. A C task is something that would be nice to do, but has no real consequences either way. Coffee with a friend. Reorganizing your desk. These things may feel good, but they don't move you forward. A D task is something you can delegate. If someone else can do it, even at 70% of the quality you do it, delegate it. That frees you for tasks that only you can do. An E task is something you can eliminate entirely. It once seemed important. Maybe it never was. Either way, it's not adding real value now. Cut it. Once you've labeled everything, start immediately on A1. Don't start B tasks. Don't be seduced by easy C tasks. Go straight to A1 and don't stop until it's done. This one habit, done consistently every day for 30 days, will set your career trajectory on a completely different path. Chapter 7. Focus on key result areas. Here's a question every high performer knows the answer to. Why am I on the payroll? Not in a philosophical sense, in a very specific practical sense. What are the results that, if I deliver them consistently and excellently, would make me indispensable to my organization? Every job can be broken down into 5 to 7 key result areas. These are the outputs that define your role. Your success or failure in your career is determined almost entirely by your performance in these areas. And here's the important part. Your weakest key result area sets the ceiling for all your other abilities. Think about that. You might be brilliant in 6 out of 7 areas, but if there's one key area where you're weak, that weakness becomes a constant bottleneck. It drags down everything else you do. It limits how far you can go. One of the main reasons people procrastinate is that they avoid activities in areas where they feel weak or incompetent. The discomfort of potential failure is so great that they just don't start at all. The solution isn't to avoid those areas. It's to get better at them. Here's the great question that should guide the rest of your career. What one skill, if I developed it and did it in an excellent fashion, would have the greatest positive impact on my career? Ask yourself this honestly. Ask your boss. Ask people who have achieved what you want to achieve. And then go to work on that skill. Because all business skills are learnable. If someone else can do it excellently, that's proof you can learn to do it too. Identify your key result areas. Grade yourself honestly. Find your weakest link. And build a plan to make it a strength. Chapter 8. The Law of 3. Here's a story Tracy tells that will reshape how you think about your work. A woman named Cynthia came to one of his coaching sessions completely overwhelmed. She was working 10 to 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, barely seeing her family, and felt like no matter how hard she worked, there was always more to do. Brian asked her to make a list of every task she was responsible for. She came up with 17 things. Then he asked her one question. If you could only do one thing on this list all day long, which single task would contribute the most value to your company? She identified it. Then he asked the same question for a second task, and a third. And then he said something that shocked her. He said, 90% of the value you contribute to your company is contained in those 3 tasks. Everything else is either support work or it can be delegated, outsourced, or eliminated. Cynthia went to her boss that Monday. She explained what she discovered. She proposed focusing exclusively on her 3 highest value tasks, delegating everything else. And she said if she doubled her contribution to the company, she wanted to be paid twice as much. Her boss said yes. 1 month later, she had doubled her output. He doubled her income. And instead of working 12-hour days, she was home by 5, spending evenings and weekends with her family. That is the power of the law of 3. What are your 3 most important tasks? The ones that contribute the most value to your work. If you're not sure, ask yourself, if I could only do one thing at work all day, what would it be? Do that 3 times. Once you know your big 3, guard them fiercely. Spend the majority of your working time on them. Everything else is secondary. But remember, time management is a means to an end, not an end itself. The reason you become more productive at work is so that you can have more genuine time for the people and experiences that give your life meaning. Work all the time you work. But when work is done, be fully present for everything else. Quality of time at work, quantity of time at home. Chapter 9. Prepare thoroughly before you begin. Have you ever sat down to do something important and then spent the first 20 minutes looking for things you needed? A file, a number, a document, a password. By the time you found everything, you'd lost your focus, your momentum, and your motivation. This is procrastination in disguise. One of the most powerful ways to overcome the resistance to starting a difficult task is to prepare everything you need before you begin. When everything is laid out in front of you, organized, accessible, ready, your mind shifts from "I'll do this later" to "Okay, let's go." Clear your desk. Put everything else on the floor or behind you. Gather every document, report, file, material, and piece of information you'll need for this one task. Make sure your workspace is comfortable, well lit, and free from distraction. Preparation creates a psychological state of readiness, and readiness collapses the distance between intention and action. Brian Tracy's personal rule is this: get it 80% right and then correct it later. Don't wait for perfect conditions. Don't wait until you feel completely ready. Because here's the truth: readiness doesn't come before action. Readiness comes from action. The biggest enemies on the road to success are not lack of ability or opportunity. They are fear of failure and fear of rejection, and the procrastination those fears create. The only way to overcome fear is to do the thing you fear. Every time you take action despite discomfort, the fear shrinks a little. Do it enough times and it disappears entirely. Prepare everything. Set up your environment for success. Then take the first step immediately, before the voice in your head can talk you out of it. Chapter 10. Take it. One oil barrel at a time. There's an old saying, by the yard it's hard, but inch by inch anything's a cinch. Brian Tracy once crossed the Sahara Desert in a Land Rover, 500 miles of flat, featureless wasteland. No water, no landmarks, just sand in every direction. The French had marked the route with black oil barrels, one every 5 kilometers, which was exactly the distance to the horizon. And the strategy was simple. All you had to do was drive to the next oil barrel. You could always see the one behind you and the one ahead. That's all you needed. Cross the world's largest desert one oil barrel at a time. This is how you accomplish anything that feels overwhelming. You don't think about the entire project. You don't let your mind run ahead to all the steps remaining. You focus only on the next action, the next oil barrel. Confucius said a journey of 1,000 leagues begins with a single step. And that first step is not just poetic advice. It's a strategy. When you're facing a massive project, break it down into every single step required to complete it. Make a list, and then take just one step. Right now. Today. The momentum that starts from that one step is what carries you forward. You'll find that once you begin, the next step becomes clearer, and the one after that. And before long, what seemed impossible is complete. Financial independence is built one savings deposit at a time. A healthy body is built one workout at a time. A book is written one page at a time. A career is built one excellent completed task at a time. Whatever goal you've been avoiding, choose the next oil barrel. Drive to it, and then look for the next one.